B'siyata d'shemaya, we conclude another wonderful week of learning Rabeinu Yona's Sharei Teshuva. Believe it or not, after 167 classes, we're finally closing in the last 2 weeks. Mirza Hashem, what a way to go into Pesach with such a sefer. B'siyata d'shemaya. So we pick it up on page 616. Teaches Rabeinu Yona, continuing the discussion about Nivel Peh Nivala. A person should never allow Nivala to leave his mouth. Sharei, where do we see this from? The Torah, which we know each and every letter is with utmost precision, added on 8 letters. And it did not want to use a davar miguna, a degrading expression. And we might be wondering, the Torah degrading nivala? What does that even mean? Well, it's not such a high level nivala. Says Rabeinu Yona shenemar umin abahema asher einena tahira. Those extra letters of einena tahira and not writing tamei, that is the high level of nivala that the Torah wants to keep away from. At that time, one was allowed to eat, believe it or not, a tummy animal. But rather was not allowed to be used as a carbon, and therefore the Torah goes out of its way to call it a nedna, tahira. That's what it is, and it's not tamei just to say the word tamei as a level of nivala. Okay, nachshav lashon mekunim yigan adam advar mashem lamachei adam. Person would be speaking disparagingly for human consumption if you were to say that it's inedible, because at that point it wasn't a tamei. You were allowed to eat it. And therefore the Torah calls it Einenu Tahira. V'hine, says Rabeinu Yona, Chayiv Adam li'yizayir sheli yotzi mipev davar megana. One is obligated to make sure that one does not allow to leave his mouth a davar megana. Gam ki tvi'eu anachasai. Even if by not saying such lashon megana laharach davar laharcham amarif, one has to talk more. We're still obligated to do that. This is a form of geder, a safeguard against indecent speech. It's also a safeguard against lashon hara and defaming other people. That we don't want to talk disparagingly and negatively about anyone. And continues Rabeinu Yona Gemara Psachim. One of the Kahanim said over in the presence of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, when I receive my portion, milachem upon him, kashir zinav hatala, the piece, the size of a lizard's tail. Ubadku acharav, and Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was quite upset. You calling a carbon the size? It's a size, it's a comparison. He didn't actually call it a zinav hatala. He just used it as a mere comparison point. And yet, they found that there was a defect in his lineage. A person has to choose refined language and set aside words which are not bikavod, even if it's not degrading. Whether it's about Torah or stam words. However, one should not speak at greater length when learning Torah because of this. Why? An important refrain. You have to always teach your Talmidim in a concise manner. Clearly, concisely, you want to make sure that they can retain it. And if you just mayrich and lengthily talk, it's a concern that you will not get there. Continues Rabeinu Yona, ve'inyan lashain kavod, and the concept of refined language, uderech hadibar v'asicha, is a manner of speech and conversation, shedarchu by nikia adas u'b'debrei sachos, which is practiced by those of pure mind and speak with clarity. V'him sheiklin, they weigh like on a scale. Umakirim izel lashon kavod, veizat timurasai, and they know what is kavod and what is opposite. K'moshe Emar, as Eov has said, v'tivchar l'shoin arumim, choose the language of the wise. In Emar, v'das sefasei barim eleilu, the wisdom of the lips is expressed with purity. V'nemar kesev nivchar l'shoin tzaddik. The language, what's a tzaddik? That his words are like silver, choosing each and every word with ultimate clarity.